Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. I am happy that it is Friday. Man, it has just been one of those past couple days. My son has had a cold, and then other things came along with it, and then he got sick this morning. He's just been, man, and then I was dealing with a diaper rash because of having so many stools, and we're just trying to, my son is in daycare, and it's just that time of the year where these nasty bugs are going around. So woke up 20 minutes late this morning, had to throw my son in the bathtub, and the house is a mess, and oh my goodness, it's just been a little crazy. So my mind hasn't kind of really just been straight. I'm going to spend my weekend deep cleaning on my hands and knees with a toothbrush. Just kidding, not that extensive, but I don't have a whole lot for you guys today, but I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys a little bit of encouragement, because I know a lot of us are still just waiting around like, Lord, where are you? Like, where you at? Is you coming? And when I get weary, or when I just am tired, and it's hard to stay encouraged sometimes. It's hard to just go some days, especially when you got all these people railing against you, saying that you're crazy, that the Lord is not coming. But I was watching a sister a couple days ago. Megan, I think I watched your video, sister. Yeah, Megan, it was you. You were talking about the rapture, and you were reading some scripture, and you made a very good point. And you said that the Lord promised that he was going to return, and you pointed out a couple of scriptures, and I found some encouragement in that, because and like I said, she made a really good point. The Lord did promise that he's coming back, and some people want to think that some parts of the Bible are true, some of it is not. All of it is truth, and if God says it, whatever is in that Bible is truth. And if God says that he will return soon, then, or when he says that the Lord, that he will return, he means it. And and then I just think about all the other things that he's given me, and that he's told many others, and we look at the prophecy, the Bible prophecy, and we look at all the things that are going on in the world and how things are lining up, and we know that we are in the season. We know that he is coming soon. It's just a matter of when. Kind of like it's just a waiting game. He said that he went to prepare a place for us, and that he's coming back. So like I told you guys, I don't get a lot of visions and dreams, and I know it seems like I do, but I've told you guys, I think I've maybe only had 8 in my lifetime. And I really haven't been on YouTube that long, but the visions kind of just, the visions started within the past couple months. So when I get weary, or when I feel tired, or I'm getting discouraged, the enemy's trying to get at me and make me doubt, like, is he really coming in this lifetime? God is so good when we ask for things. If we ask, we receive. And I just a few months ago, when I had started this YouTube channel, I know a lot of you guys are new. It may sound like I'm repeating myself, because there are some of my subscribers who have been with me from the beginning. I absolutely love you guys, but I know there's a lot of you guys who are new to my channel. And the very first video I had ever uploaded on YouTube was when I had just woken up from a rapture dream. And the crazy part is I, that day before, I was at work, and I, was watching all these videos of these people having their confirmations, and everybody's saying that the Lord is coming soon. And even I had my very first dream from the Lord when I was 10, and he told me we were at the halfway point. It was almost time to go home. That was 19 years ago. I said, Lord, I just need I stopped what I was doing in my office. I went down to the women's restroom, and I went into a stall, and I closed the door, and I just went into prayer for a moment. And I said, Lord, if you are truly coming, this is what I told him. I said, Lord, if you're truly coming soon, like imminently, soon, not years down the road, if you're coming soon, will you please just give me something, show me something, give me my own confirmation. I don't want to rely on what other people are getting. I want you to tell me. Just give me something to keep me encouraged and to keep me going. And that very next day, or very next morning, I had woken up around 7 o'clock or so, and my son, that's around the time that he normally wakes up, and so I'm watching him on the monitor, and he's kind of moving around, but I noticed he had went back to sleep. So I drifted off and went back to sleep, and I had a rapture dream. But the very first dream I ever had from the Lord was when I was 10, so I know when the dreams are from him. I know when they are from the Lord, just because of that one that I had. And so when they happen, I just know. And I was laying in my bed. So in my dream, I was where I actually was in my bed. And all of a sudden, I started to be raptured up out of the bed. It was it felt like an out-of-body experience. It felt like it was so real. And it's starting to rain. You hear it? And my husband was laying next to me, and we started to be raptured out of the bed. I even remember the blanket being on me and being taken with me. And obviously we didn't get very far, and I woke up because it felt like it was so real, like it was actually happening. And I was like hitting my husband. I'm like, oh my gosh, we were like literally just being raptured. And he was still sleeping. He was like, wait, what? What do you mean? And I'm like, no, not actually, but I just had a rapture dream. And he went back to sleep, and I went to the restroom, and I got in a quiet place because everybody was still sleeping. It was early, and I recorded what happened, and that was my first YouTube video that I ever uploaded. So I knew without a doubt that that was my confirmation that the Lord was telling me he is coming soon. And just along with many other things, I think, I don't know if I uploaded this video or not on YouTube, but a few months ago when I was working at another store, I had another dream where I saw Jesus coming towards me in the clouds, like coming from at a distance, and he was coming at me, and he was walking through the sky, coming straight at me, and he was like miles and miles away, and I saw him as he was walking towards me. He was getting closer and closer, and he was massive, very, very strong, and I was running towards him. I was like, it's Jesus, it's Jesus. And he was like very giddy, like he was happy to see me. There's been multiple things, guys, that he's, showed me, showing other people, and it's just very important for us to just stay encouraged and to keep spreading the gospel. And I was talking to Christina about this. I always say that, but I always talk to her. She's my very good friend, and I was talking to her, and I said, I feel like the Lord is just waiting for the very last moment, like he's waiting for basically the very last second, because he's a very gracious and loving God, that he doesn't want to see anybody perish. So honestly, I think that it's overdue, just because he's waiting for those last people who he knows that are going to come to him, because he doesn't want to see anybody perish. And only he knows how bad the tribulation is going to be. We can make speculations, we can watch videos, we can piece videos together of what we think it would be like. All we know is what the Bible tells us that it's going to be like. and only he knows how bad it's going to be. So imagine knowing how bad it's going to be. You know, I think that's why he's just waiting for just more people to come to him, to give them another chance to not have to go through that. So I know that we're very tired and we're just waiting and we're longing because we're tired and we want to go home. But I often ask him to just, you know, give me patience, because I don't want to be selfish like that in a sense, because the tribulation is just going to be so bad, and you know, every person matters. And so I just try to look at it as just another day that we have the chance to spread the gospel and for others to come to Christ. A lot of people think that it's their job to, you know, to save somebody. It's just our job to plant the seeds. Sometimes people will come to Christ when we talk to them, but other times is, you know, we're just planting the seed, and then it's God's job to just come along and do the rest. So, you know, when I was a little girl, I was 10 years old, he gave me that very first rapture dream when I didn't even know what the rapture was at the time. And we were all standing in a field, for those of y'all who have not heard this, but I was standing in a field and with tons of other people, and all of a sudden we started to be lifted off of the ground, and we were spiraling up like this, just spiraling. We got to a halfway midway point. I had an understanding. We were at that halfway midway point, and we stopped. Everybody stopped in midair, and all of a sudden he started to just let us back down very easily. We spiraled back down. We planted our feet to the ground, and we started walking back to wherever we were coming from. And I remember somebody being to the right of me, and as we were walking back, I looked over at that person and I said, "That is a sign from God that it is almost time to go home." I knew it without a doubt. We were at that midway, halfway point, and it was almost time to go home. That's what I said. That was 19 years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. And that, you know, when I was a little girl, I had no idea what the rapture was. So when I was explaining it to my mom, I'm just telling her, you know, what happened in the dream, but she knew that it was the rapture. And I hold on to that every single day. Why he gave me that, I didn't know for the longest time. But now I know that he had this, you know, this YouTube ministry in mind for me. And he's placed his hand on this channel, and I feel like he's given it to me so that I can tell thousands or millions of other people that he's coming. And it's just so amazing how God is so good. And for anybody who hasn't received anything from the Lord, don't get discouraged. Just keep asking him, because sometimes, you know, I ask and I don't receive anything, but it's in his timing. So just trust his timing. Know that he is coming soon, but while we are waiting for him to come, just count each day that he doesn't come as a blessing to be able to tell other people about Christ. You know what I mean? So I've been following along everything that Tim has been showing us that's going on. You know, it's just, it is so crazy how we can see how things have just amped up, and how we are there. We are there. We are the fig tree generation. We're the generation that's going to see his return. So you just keep pressing forward, because like I had told you guys the other day, we're all in this together. So you guys keep pressing forward. Know that he's coming soon. Know that he's coming because he told us he was going to come back for us. He's not just going to say, I'm going to come, and he's not going to come. You know what I mean? It's going to happen regardless of what anybody says. So are you going to be on the bandwagon? Or are you going to be off of it? So just please stay encouraged. If you guys have been getting anything, if you guys have received a dream from him, or a vision, or a word, or anything, please leave it in the comment section below. I love to read that stuff. It keeps me encouraged, because, you know, I get discouraged sometimes too. You know, remember, that was 19 years ago. But I do remember 19 years ago, when I was around 10 years old, he said it was almost time to go home. We were at that midway point. So we're there. We are there. Anyways, I'm going to hop off of here, go grab some lunch. I hope you guys have a great Friday, a great weekend. I don't know if I'll be on here during the weekend. I got a lot of stuff to do. But stay encouraged, you guys, okay? Love you.